Hi guys, Kevin with Gopherlax. Today we're going to review the Warrior Burn Warp Pro. Alright, so as it looks, it's the newest addition to the Warp line. There's been a bunch of changes to it, and I'll go over that when I talk to the Pocket. But first and foremost, it takes a lot of the things I very much disliked with the Burn 2. I think that if you're comparing the Burn 2 and let's say the King 2 is superior. It's a little more stiffer. This, as I'm even squeezing it, just had a little bit too much flex, and I didn't really like this on ground balls. So what they've done with this one, as you can see as I do a side-by-side, they've added a strut or a support here, lowered the sidewalls a little bit here and the angle, and what that does is it gives this a great deal more strength. And at the same time, they've started this strut earlier in the head as opposed to here, so it gives a lot more strength up in here. I played with this this morning, and I loved it on ground balls. This one, not so much. Well, not this specific head, but you get the idea. So let's go over some aspects of it. Again, it's a warp, so it's going to retail for about $150. That's normal with all the warps. Also, if you're looking at it, it's the higher end of the high-end heads, or the higher price points of the high-end heads. You know, that get String King, ECD, you're looking at that 120, 130 strung. So it's up there, but it's an improvement greatly over the previous warps. For example, the Evo Warp Pro. As you can see, I've put this head through some tests, but haven't used it as much, primarily because I didn't like when the ball was here, it was fine. When you're going to shoot or pass from here to there, I sometimes lost the feel of it. So I never liked that. One of the reasons why I'm a big fan of traditional is you feel wherever the ball is in your pocket the entire time. Also, it popped a lot when you caught. So like the ball would pop and you'd feel it pop around your pocket. So again, if I used it more, I probably would have gotten used to it. But overall, that drove me enough that I didn't use it as much. So they've improved greatly over that. You can see they've brought let's call them the shooter rows, down where you normally just had this one up here. And the sizes of the diamonds change throughout the pocket. So as the ball is right here in the sweet spot of your pocket, so this is the mid, so it's right about there, the diamonds are a little larger. And then they get smaller as the ball's coming out. What does this do? Primarily what I noticed is the ball does not pop as much. It did a few times, but then you kind of get used to receiving it and soften your hands a little bit, catch the ball deeper in the pocket, and that's not an issue. But what I absolutely loved is you had that feel throughout the entire thing, throughout the entire pocket. You knew where the ball was coming. That being said, the ball comes out really quick on this. And again, there's two of them. I'll go over explaining. The balls come out really, really quick on these, so you have to really snap your wrists at the end, or it will sail a few inches high on you. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but a few inches high is from either under the crossbar or over the crossbar. But other than that, my best review on a head is I couldn't find a fault or I didn't notice it when I was playing with it. And that was the case with this one this morning. Ground balls were good. Defense on lift checks and poke checks, it didn't flop, which is always key for me. I always like my heads to the little stiffer point, and again, this one makes this look like Tupperware. It's nice and stiff. Release was good. You have to get used to it, so don't just break it out of the box and go and run into a game. Hit the wall, get some shots in, get your reps in, find where you have the nice release point on it, and it's a dramatic step up from this one. And matching it with the Burn Pro carbon fiber, you're looking at 330 grams total in weight, so it's a nice light stick, but it still has some heft to it, and the carbon fibers are getting nicer and nicer. At first, I was never really a fan until the true carbon fibers, and then even the ECD Carbon Pros. This is it did not feel like you had a carbon in your hand. It had a little bit of flex, but not as much as when you're laying a check, you could feel the stick bending, or even on the shots. The shots came out really, really quick. I'd put it a step below the Ultra Power. They come out that quickly in this, which I was not expecting. And the nice thing is it comes out so quickly it gets on the goalies. So if you get your shot on goal, you have a better chance of putting it in. Other than that, I can't think of anything to say. If you have any questions, hit me up, send me an email. Later.